What is up, everybody? Good afternoon. Gonna take a couple minutes here. Go over, we're gonna do swing trade watch list for tomorrow. So I'm just gonna show you kind of just the flow a little bit different than this morning, right? So this morning we did the screen share for day trading. Now I'm gonna show you guys for swing trading today. So let me post this out to everybody, let people know that we are on. Give me a second. Peeps, we are live on YouTube doing the swing trade watch list now. Just gonna wait for some people to join, guys. Just posting this out for you. It's a little bit of an odd time here today, doing it between 3 or 4 o'clock here to do for swing trading. So we'll just wait a couple minutes for people to join. What's up, everybody? So what I'm going to do for you guys is just kind of show you how I do my thing with the swing trade watch list, how we put it together. Before I begin, we'll just take a look again at the markets for those who have been following along earlier today. And like we've been showing you guys, just showing you the futures here. You can see a big descending triangle. Price went up today. It broke out of angular resistance, and then it tapped the 50 SMA. And now it's kind of pulled back. I think someone, I didn't look at the news yet, but I think somebody said Trump is going to be saying something about Iran tomorrow. I thought somebody said that. If people, I opened up the chat down here for you guys. So if you guys want to chat here, chat is opened up. What's up, guys? So I think somebody said something about news, potentially about the Iran deal tomorrow. So obviously any type of news, if that's the case, does affect the markets. So again, with the swing trade watch list, just a few things, guys. I'm showing you guys potential swing trades. Again, we are not going to tell you when to get in, when to get out. We leave that up to you. We're going to show you resistance and support levels. But you don't just buy just because something's on the watch list. You got to look at the patterns. And then if you're going to trade, let's say, options, there are several different option strategies that you can do. You could buy calls, you could buy puts, you can buy credit or debit spreads, you can do iron condors. There's so many different strategies that you can do for options. So we highly suggest taking our options course over here. If you haven't taken it yet already, you can see our options course over here. So you can see all different types of options you can trade, or like different strategies, stuff like that. So number one, we want to stress, don't just buy something because it's on our watch list, regardless of whether it's day trading, swing trading, options, any of that stuff, right? And make sure you understand how to trade options if you do options, different types of strategies. So again, I kind of get all of those disclaimers out of the way because we want you guys to protect yourself, right? We want you not just getting in on something just because an alert goes off, right? That's why we suggest always practicing with a virtual account, one such as Thinkorswim or Interactive Brokers. Practice, just like I was telling you guys earlier with day trading, with doing options and swing trading as well, just so you get very comfortable with these strategies, right? So I'm starting the watch list right now. I'm going to put some on there again, and we'll just kind of just go through. So we'll see anything that's possibly popping up. And then we'll kind of take a look if there's anything on the watch list towards the end of the day, or towards the end of before the market closes, see if anything pops up and see if there's any potential plays to look at, right? So this is a good hour to kind of gauge for swing trades, right? See what's popping up towards the end of the day or falling down, depending if the market's going down. Again, if the market's in a downtrend or falling, that's a potential put side or taking a short side of the market. And obviously if it's going up, call side of the market or going long. And then there's also the choppiness here. That's where other, strategies like spreads and stuff like that come into play. So this is where the market is right now between the 20 EMA and the 50. Again, Can be very risky, can go either way. Got to watch and see. So let's take a look at the couple of the ones that were on from today, for today from this weekend, see what they're doing. AMAT, see if they're still in play at all. So AMAT, we had at or above 52.74. That was right here at this candle right here. And you can see it just tapped above, and right now it's kind of bouncing off the moving average lines, right? So got to watch that one right now. It's still kind of dojiing or not really doing much. It just went up a little bit. So, you know, if this is a potential play now or in the near future, want to see it get above this green candle here, push up, and then look for resistance in this gap area between 54.20 to 54.57, right? It's kind of trading sideways right now, not doing much. Todd, you said Mosey, M-O-S-Y. Let me pull that up. So here's the thing. On these small caps, when I do our swing trade watch list, I'm doing them more for higher price stocks. It does not mean you can't trade our day trade watch list, our daily watch list. So this watch list right here, you know, these are more small caps. Any of them that are between $10 to $20 obviously might be good swing trades, but it doesn't mean you can't trade $1 or $3 or $5 stock. Swing trading, we put it on the daily. We leave it up to you whether you want to swing trade them. It's just a very difficult thing to do with many of these small cap stocks because a lot of them are pump and dumps. So it's going to be up to you how long you potentially hold on to some of them. You know, you got to be careful after 3 green days. When you see at least 3 green days, watch for the potential shorts to come in. You can kind of see them kind of trying to come in, push it down, push it down. But, you know, it's, you know, you got to be careful. This is what I'm saying right here. Pump down, pump up, down, pump up. Now you got to watch. Is it going to go up or down? It's kind of tougher to swing trade some of these small cap stocks because of the patterns, right? The patterns on many of them are pump and dumps. So again, not saying you can't trade them. You just got to be very careful. But if you look over on Mosey over here, you know, it's a little bit overextended on the daily. Kind of pulling back. You can see right here. Look at that candle wick right over here. So you kind of have almost like a big head and shoulders overall on the daily. You got a big head up here, left shoulder over here, kind of a right shoulder, and then you can kind of extend the neckline kind of down here. So you have a head and shoulders-ish right over here. The left shoulder is a little bit lower than the right shoulder, but just be aware of these peaks, right? Price has to get above this peak, but then you got to understand too, again, overextended on the daily. Maybe take a look at pets. So pets right here, you have price. It's trapped right between the 9 and the 20 right now. Big long-legged doji candlestick, so lots of indecision. What you want to do is you want to see price get above that 20 EMA if you were to trade this. Smack dab right in the middle of right now, so it's a little bit difficult to trade. Let's take a look at ATVI from earlier today. That was on the watch list. So this one was at or above 69.84. So it did go from 69.84 today up to 70.75. So it did move about $1, up $1, or move up about $1 earlier today. And then, as I had said to you guys, be careful of the top of this wick on the high wave candle. So again, it moved $1 up, kind of pulled back. So you could have taken advantage of it earlier. But right now it's forming kind of a doji, so got to be careful with that, right? So again, with swing trading, you got to determine how long you're going to hold for, or if you're going to take the entry. Again, that's why we tell you don't just get in on something just because it's on the watch list. Swing trading, it's kind of, again, more of your preference on when you're going to take profit, if you do, or if you're going to hold longer or take your profit, right? KHC, let's take a look at this one. This one we had at or above 58.01, and it went up to 59.25 so far today before it pulled back. So that moved over $1 today. So this one is possible. Let's see. It is holding right above here, that 58 20 area. So let's take a look at the hourly. So it's kind of breaking angular resistance. You can see it kind of got above this area here, that 5820s area. It is above the 9, the 20, the 50, 200 on the hourly. That's good. So if it's going to continue up, you want to see the 9 push it back up further. You can see got some resistance right around that 59.50 range, right up over here, right? So got to keep an eye on it, but it moved up over $1 today. So you can see KHC went up over $1 from the watch list, and ATVI, I think that was close to $1. So let's see for some potential new ones. We'll just scroll through, see if anything's popping out and looking decent. So what I try to do, look for on the swing trade watch list for you guys. Again, stocks are holding their highs or holding their lows if we're going short. Ones that have, you know, potentially going to be breaking out with room to run, you know, with the moving average lines with some distance. And looking for the patterns, right? So you can see over here, this one right here has, this is PSTG, an inverse head and shoulders. You can see a left shoulder, head, a right shoulder. You can kind of see a neckline right over here, right? So it's right at a neckline area, broaching overbought. So it's one to look at. The next thing I start to look at is, you know, potential options contracts, right? Is there a lot of open interest, right? There's a lot of open interest, so that's a good sign, right? Open interest. And then I look for tight bid ask spreads, ideally under 15 cents or so, sometimes up to 20 depending what it looks like, but you can see, or what's going on. Some of this PSTG, it's got a pretty decent, you know, you can see 5 to 10 cents here. Some of them are better spreads than others. Some of these are kind of high, so some of them are not really good right now. So this one seems to be a decent spread right now. That's a little bit, where's that, 22.50, right at the money. My eyes are going crazy. So I'm just going to put it on just to watch. Again, we're going to go back over these probably in a little bit, see what pops up. Just keep an eye on it for now. Just want to show you guys what I'm kind of looking at. I usually make the watch list towards the end of the day or when the market closes, but I just trying to show you guys, you know, ahead of time, you know, see what to look at if you're looking to get an entry potentially before the market closes, right? So what you'd want to look for in something like this, again, I'm not saying to take this trade, be aware, again, patterns. Inverse head and shoulders, price is at a neckline. It's right at it right now. Check and see towards the end of the day. Is it going to be holding its highs or is it going to reject? You can take a look at the weekly, the next thing, because there's no overhead resistance on the daily. It's on the weekly too. You know, might be kind of forming a double top rejection, or it might go up. It might break out. Got to watch and see, right? Take a look at the monthly. Again, on a monthly. So you're kind of at all-time highs right now. So it's either going to pull back or it might continue. If it continues upwards, you want to basically see this area hold, right? You want it to get above that 22, what is that, 60-ish range and continue upwards. So these are the things that I'm looking for, the patterns, potential breakouts, coming over here, looking for high open interest. You know, they say at least 100 open interest, but I like at least hundreds, if not 1,000 plus open interest. And I like really tight bid ask spreads, right? So that's what I'm looking for. So right now I'll just put it on there peripherally, PSTG for now. Not really liking that one. JPM looks like 20 EMA has been resistance. Would you wait until it passes or break fib level around 111-ish? Let's take a look. Let me look at this one first, and then I'll pull it up. Bit overextended on box. Don't like this one. JP Morgan. Now, swing trading, there's so many different scans that you can do as well. You know, there's not just one. We have several different types of scans, several different scanners that we use as well. So you can see it's kind of got kind of a double bottom area close to it, right? You can almost say almost a triple bottom. One here, one here, one here. Got to get above that 20 EMA right here at that, what is this here? Right, let me get my drawing right there. That 109.76. You can see right here, 20 EMA. No coincidence why it rejected up here. So it's got to get above that. If it does, it might have some room up to the 111, this 50 SMA. But you got to be careful. You want to get it to get above there. And 109 to 111, that is some room to move, but I don't know. Got to watch out. Kind of might be a triple bottom, right? 1, 2, 3. Right now, I don't like it, but it might be something to look at if it can get above that 20 EMA. Let's see here, RGLY. It's nice that it's getting above the 50. Ideally, you want to see it get above, I'm sorry, above the 20. Ideally, you want to see it get above that 50. It is still pushing towards its highs at the end of the day. Might be kind of a double bottomish pattern. Let's take a look at the hourly. It's going to hit some resistance right at that $26 marker right here, that 200 SMA. Again, I'm not discounting saying I wouldn't watch it just for right now. I'm just looking at it for right now. It's getting closer to resistance. It could be one to look at. Just there's so many more to look at right now, so I'm not really caring about it. This one had very choppy pattern, all of those gaps, crazy. But you can kind of see here an inverse head and shoulder, kind of a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, kind of had a neckline right around here, and then it had one down right over here, right? So it broke out. I don't trade something. This is way too many gaps all over the place. But you can see it kind of gapped up, kept going up right here. I don't like this pattern, but you know, just to show you patterns, just showing what we're looking at. Don't like it though. ENTG above EMA 20, lots of room to 37.60. Let's take a look. ENTG. Am I looking at the right stock? Did you mean ENTG, Jasper? Because it's well, on the daily right now, it's rejecting off of the 20. Take a look at the hourly. You got some resistance coming up upon it right around that 200 SMA. Possibly not liking it right now. I want to try and get through some of these just to see if there's any to watch towards the end of the day for you guys. So again, on the swing trade watch list, you're not looking to build 10 on a watch list, right? You're looking for a couple to watch, and then, oh, no worries. You know, you want to, that's why you won't see us doing more than like 3 or 5. And again, 1 or 2 might go off, right? So you don't want a lot of swing trade positions. You want to focus, target in, get the best setups ideally. So out of this whole list, you know, there might be 30, 40 stocks in it. We might only find 3 or 4 decent setups and like 1 or 2, right? And that's okay. Swing trading is just a different trading style than doing day trading. So this one right here, it's been selling off, might be doing a reversal here. One to keep an eye on. You can see some resistance right up here, that 31.20. Really oversold. Buyers might be coming back in. Let's take a look at options chain. So again, when I'm trying to do the watch list for you guys, or the swing trade watch list, I try to find a lot more open interest in this. So it doesn't mean not to trade it. There is a decent bid-ask spread over here. So this is one to keep an eye on potentially, COMM. Again, you also want to do your fundamental research, stuff like that. We are more technical traders. When we're swing trading, we're in and out probably, you know, very shortly in a matter of a couple days, right? Maybe a week. But Tim is more of our long-term trader. Tim does more long-term trading, but when we do the swing trade watch list, we're trying to get you something that's going to move $1 plus. When you make that, you know, get out, take your profits, and then, you know, look for potential reentry, right? So this one is one to keep a potential eye on. I don't like the fact that there's not a lot of option. You know, it's not bad. There's decent. There's a few hundred open interests. The bid-ask spread on some of them, 15 cents or so. Not too bad. Like it a little bit better. Might be potentially reversing. Look at the hourly. Now, on the hourly, you want to see it right there. It's right at the 50 SMA. Might be trying to get a push up. If it can get above there, then this might have some room. You know, this might have room to run. Got to keep an eye on it. We'll put it on as a peripheral to maybe watch in a little bit. COMM. I'm putting it on now, but we want to see at the end of the day. It could sell off at the end of the day, or it could continue moving up, right? Etsy, ETSY. You can see it's breaking highs on the daily. Let's get rid of this. Let's take a look at the weekly. Big kind of U pattern here. Bit overextended on the weekly. I mean, it's got some room that it can go up there. It's, you know, that candle wick's got some volatility. Can you guys not hear me okay? Chris? Chris is saying pounds. Yeah, I know. But I can't keep my head everywhere, Chris, all the time, buddy. I got to move it at times. This should pick up the audio. Can you guys hear me okay? Just type in yes or no. So Etsy. I'm not really liking that one right now. ACIA. This one is in the gap right now. So you can see there's a gap right here. It's up in the gap. This is one to maybe keep an eye on. Oh, you can hear me fine. So something to keep an eye on here. Price is now in the gap. Big gap. You have $36 is the next probably resistance right up, or right up in here as well. You can kind of see, actually, didn't want to do that. These areas right here, that candle wick right here, 34.24, and then also this 36.04. This is one to keep an eye on. Let's see how the open interest is. So, some decent open interest. All right. Borderline on the bid-ask spread. You can see 20 cents here. About 35 cents. It's fluctuating. It's a little bit more than I want it to be. It could be fluctuating potentially because price is in the gap as well. But when you're looking at this, this is something to look at, you know. It's in the gap. You want to see this area hold. So if you were to get in on something like this, if it starts to fail this $31 area, 31.03 or so, got to be careful. It's a little bit bearish right now on the 1 minute. So again, when a price is in the gap, lots of volatility. So take a look at the hourly. So it's got room. Lots of selling off down here. Might be pushing its way up. Gotta wait, watch and see. But we'll put it peripherally right now. ACIA. We'll come back and take a look at it. And not liking that one. Nope. Nope. It's kind of selling off right at that $34 marker. Pulling back a little bit. Like to see it holding more of its highs. But it's one to keep an eye on. You can see, got to find these patterns, right? So this one right here, you can see right here. A left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, neckline here, and you can see some right over here, right up in that area, and you can kind of see some higher lows being created with a flat top. So you can kind of see almost an ascending triangle-ish, potentially within, let me just do this for you. Come on. Let me go to the hourly. You can even kind of see, if you look here, a big left shoulder head. Kind of put this together as a right shoulder. So this might be moving up. Got to wait and see. You know, it is a bit overextended on the hourly. It is a little bit messy. But on the daily, if you're looking at it, you know, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, you know, might have a chance at some point to move up. Got to watch and see. AAOI. Again, I'm putting these on here right now, but they might not even be on the watch list. You know, I'm going to look towards the end of the day on some of them, and then I'll look after market and may weed some of them out. Don't really like that one. Momentum. So this one is kind of holding its highs right now. You can kind of see a cup, maybe a handle, kind of a big cup, maybe a handle pattern. See some resistance right at the peak there, at that 40.58. Let's see here. Let's take a look at the hourly. Some resistance right around that 38.50s marker. Pattern's a little bit choppy, really overextended on the hourly. Let me see here. It's an to me right now. You know, kind of a cup, kind of a handle. Got to move up. Not loving it. I'm not really liking it right now, but it's, you know, there's some potential at some point. Just showing again the patterns. It's kind of a little bit sloppy for me. No. Nope. So in about 15 minutes or so, I'll see what we've got on here, and then we'll just kind of see what's happening on some of these ones right here and see if there's anything decent to look at. Yelp. No. Okay, TA. Bit overextended. So when a stock like this is overextended, I'm not saying to do it on this one, but just to give you a heads up, when you've had multiple green days in a row, it's overextended, it's at yearly highs, it's at angular resistance, these are ones that you'd look to potentially short or buy a put on, right? So when something's overextended, you'd look to potentially short it down or buy a put level down. Not saying to do it per se on this one, but just be aware when you have this many green days hitting a resistance. If it can't break that, you can see it right below $48. Might be a potential put or you know, short. So you can see the spreads aren't really that great on it. Borderline, you have 25 cents there. This one right here is 40 cents, 30. It's a little bit more than I want it to be, but just to give you an example, that's what I'd be looking at. if everything added up, looked right, the pattern added up, you know, this is where you look when might, you know, gets overextended for potential short or, you know, buying a put or other option strategies as well. I'm just talking calls and puts or going long or going short just for sake of use of this video or just, you know, teaching you guys. Hitting angular resistance right here. Square. No. Futures are touching, bouncing off previous close right now. So we might have a bearish close. Got to watch and see. So this is swing trading. It's just, guys, it's just going through chart after chart after chart and being slower, being more methodical, right? It's not like day trading, scalping, making 10, 15, 20 cents. It's just looking at patterns, building a list, going through, seeing, you know, if the patterns form, you know, holding, then deciding, are you going to do a call or a put or a spread or another option strategy? And then, you know, determining your risk management, where your stop loss would be, looking where you'd be looking to take profit, all of those types of things. And so it's more of just a more methodical process, right? So this one right here is holding its highs. This is Z. I think that's Zillow, right? So it kind of broke out of that channel. I was obviously looking at that one recently. And you can see right here, so you have some support kind of broke out. So this big cup pattern. You can see some resistance up here, obviously around right around below 60 bucks. So now what you got to look at is it is moving upwards. Now it is getting potentially overbought several green days in a row. Obviously at this point now you have some resistance right up there on that $56 range. So you'd have to be aware of something like this. It is nice where it's holding the highs, but it is overextended. So when you're looking at something like this, you ideally, you know, you might miss the move if it's overextended. Like if you don't get an entry, it may keep going up. It's possible. But also you got to be aware of pullbacks, shorts coming in. You know, this could definitely give back some of its gains, but got to look definitely at this area here, that 54.50 range. It might pull back. Got to watch and see. It is a bit overextended for right now. AVGR. So yeah, guys, this is what I was saying earlier. These smaller cap stocks, we don't really put on for swing trades. We leave that up to you guys. They're just a little bit riskier because the patterns don't really form as well as they do on some of the higher cap stocks, right? So we leave it up to you on the small caps if you're going to swing trade them or not. But this one's a little bit tough. We're a lot tough. It's just garbage pattern. No. No. So let's look at this one here. Price is at the yearly high right now. It's kind of got this, let me go to the hourly. Do right here. Kind of got like an ascending triangle-ish pattern a little bit, right? Or ascending wedge. So it's at yearly highs. It's a little bit messier than I'd like it to be. So at this point, if you were to look at something like this, you want to see price break above that yearly high of 62.83 and continue. Let's take a look at the weekly. It's at weekly highs. So you're at all-time highs right now, right? So again, if this is going to continue, you can see the moving average lines are bullish. you want to see price get above the 62.80 range. We've been doing this for a couple of years, Raphael. It's been 3+ green days, so I got to be aware of that. Broaching a little bit overextended, but doesn't mean it can't continue. Basically, you want to see price get above those 62.80s range and continue upwards if you're bullish on it. If you're bearish on it, you can see if this rejects, it might be a short down, right? Kind of look right here at, let me just fix this here. Some support down right over here, that 60.11 range. So if it's a short or you're taking it down a little bit, if this rejects up here, you know, look for support around that 60.11. If price gets above 62.83, then you want to see it continue upwards, right? So it's just, I'm not going to put, I'll peripherally just put it down here just to take a peek what it does at the end of the day. No. So it's 338. Let's see if I can get a few more in, and then we'll take a final look. 98.83 might be continuing up. DNKN, that must be Duncan. So it's got a doji kind of right now, right here. So got to watch and see. It's got to get above that area here. Don't like the doji. Price has to get above that 64.37-ish range to continue upwards. So be careful of resistance there. It's already kind of pulling back around right there. It doesn't mean it can't go up, but got to watch. You want to see it get above that area. So you can see right here, kind of a bigger double, kind of a double bottom pattern, close to it, close, right? You can see some resistance at that 125-ish mark. What is that, 125.64-ish range? Take a look at the hourly. Not really liking that one right now. Awesome to hear, Raphael. That's good. Keep practicing. Not liking that. And then ATHN, no. Let's see if there's any quick bearish ones. Swing trade bearish. So now we're looking ones that are bearish that might be selling off for a good setup. Kind of got a dark cloud cover pattern forming here. But there's some room down to the moving average lines. It is failing up here. Let's see down here. It's a little bit tight. But kind of got a dark cloud cover pattern. No. So these are the ones I start to look at where they start failing the moving average lines. Then you start want to kind of see how far down does it have to go. That 29.48. It's a little bit close to that, a little bit too close for me there, but this is what I'm starting to look at. I wish there was more room, you know, down to these areas of support. Doesn't mean not to take this one. This one's not necessarily that Dix isn't bearish, but I like to have more room down. So it's failing the moving average lines, really oversold on the hourly. No, we do our swing trade watch list from like, I don't know, $20 to $150. So we have a kind of a range. We're just, whatever's popping up on here is popping up. So something like this, I like it failing moving average lines. Really oversold right now. But you got to watch these areas of support, and it's kind of close to it. So that's why I'm not going to really look at that one right now, Dix. But I like how it's failing the moving average lines if I was to take it down, just to give you an idea. Here's another one, failing the 50 right now. So I like to see that. Getting closer to that support, that 36.11 marker right around here, $36. It is breaking. Let me go to the hourly. Let me kind of do this here. Draw your trend lines, guys. Super important. So as you can see, kind of drawing your trend lines right here. Now price is starting to kind of fail out of this bottom trend line right here. So this is one to keep an eye on. It's getting oversold on the hourly. Got to keep an eye on it. You can see some support right over down kind of that $36 range. So, you know, these are the types of setups I start to look at, you know, just to kind of like zoom in, gauge in a little bit further, look at, you know, price is starting to fail out of that channel. Missed kind of a lot of that move already right now. Might pull back a little bit before it continues down, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. But then if I was going to put this on the watch list for you guys, I don't like this. No open interest at all. So that's where I just skip right over it, right? So if someone was to take this short, most people, you know, that are trading aren't going to necessarily have $37 a share to short, right? So that's why I look usually for options. So that's my psychology when I'm looking into these for you guys. So this went up, filled a gap. Now it's coming back down, right? Went up, filled this gap here, came back down, now retesting that gap. If that fails the gap, this one has some room to go down further, right? So went up, filled the gap here, came back down, refilling the gap. Now you got to see what happens. Is it going to fail the gap and go down? You can see some support over there. Does have a lot of open interest. Spreads aren't that great. A little bit too big. This one's really falling, very oversold. Sometimes, obviously, just because it's falling doesn't mean to get in on it. Yeah, you know, don't want to. If it's oversold, it could continue further, but you know, we like to try to catch more of that move. No. Possibly here. Kind of got a dark cloud cover right here. Very bearish pattern. Right at that 9 EMA. Let me take a look at the hourly. So it's right near these moving average lines right here, the 50 and the 200. So if this area fails, it could definitely fall. You can see the moving average lines are pinching. It gets a little bit hairy down in these areas over here. Kind of put maybe some support right down in here. Take a look at the daily again. So be aware of that dark cloud cover pattern. See if it's going to potentially fail. If it fails that 9, it definitely has some room to fall. Let's take a look at. So you have some decent open interest. The spreads are not that good though. They're very borderline. 30 cents is cutting it. 20 cents up. That's not that good. So it's borderline, right? So this is one I would put on to kind of keep an eye on, right? See if it gets a little bit better. We have a few. Let me take a look at those. Last one over here I'll take a look at. All right, so now I've kind of built, this is kind of the process, right? So now I have a few on the watch list, right? So now I have about 6 on here. That's a lot, right? So now you want to kind of weed it down and see if there's any that you'd potentially be serious about taking a look at it. Just 10 minutes or so, 12, 13 minutes before, or 13 minutes before the end of the day. Going to take a look at these and see kind of now what they're doing, right? Are they holding their highs? Where are they at? This one right here, COMM is still, COMM is still below the moving average lines. So it was kind of moving up, but it's still below the moving average lines. I'd like to see it be more bullish, finishing up near the highs. Doesn't mean it can't or can't move up, but that's what I'd be looking at. Team. So team 62.49. It is still it's still below those moving average lines. I'd like to see it get above. It's right at, I think it's all-time highs, right? Right at all-time highs. Overextended on the monthly. Weekly. So you can see, yeah, it's might be double topping again. So this is where you got to look at the patterns, right? Might be a double top. Is it going to get above on the weekly? But got to look at the weeklies. Potential double top pattern. Got to see. You don't have to, Chris, but that's what I tend to do. You know, for when I'm looking for you guys, I'm trying to get you guys, you know, really, really drill it down, right? So I look at something, see if it's going to be a good play. Look at options, look at the open interest, look at the tight bid-ask spread, then see, okay, am I going to do a potential call or a put on it? Or am I going to do a spread? Am I going to do another type of strategy, right? So this right here, again, it is holding its highs. You want it to get above that 62.83. It's trading sideways right now. So, you know, this one is kind of, it's a little bit iffy right now. And it's been multiple green days. So, would I just buy a straight call on it right now? Maybe not. If price started getting above these moving average lines and gets towards the high of the day and looks like these moving average lines start to go bullish and push price up, then I would maybe consider it. AAOI. Price is still below the moving average lines, not finishing at the high of day. Not really liking it. PSTG. Another one. Still has the good pattern. Still kind of pulling back right here now, right? So it's pulling back at this area here. I don't like to see that double top pattern failure. I want to see price get back above it. Yeah, there is, Sam, but it depends what you're looking to do, right? You know, Trade Ideas is our favorite scanner. You can tweak it any which way you want. Gives you more options than Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is good for swing trading. You know, you can set up a scan within Thinkorswim. We also use Market Club a lot. Market Club is really good as well. Swing trading, though, there's so much more to it, right? It's not just like, hey, this is your one scan. There's so many different types of scans you could do. I just have 2 that I'm showing you guys right now. We have several other ones as well. So it's not just like as simple as like one, you know, particular scan or setup. So I missed something here. And ACIA went up into the gap before, right? So we were looking at it earlier, and now it's selling off, right? Selling back down. I'm going to take that one right off. So this is kind of the process of it, right? You would kind of weed it down. And I don't really love a lot of this stuff. Now, there's a reason why some of these things might be not looking so great right now because of this, right? Market's in a descending triangle. Price is rejecting off the 50 SMA. It rejected angular resistance. Now it's falling back down. This is a choppy mess. I think there's going to be some news. I think someone was saying about Iran tomorrow. So this is where, again, you might not take a trade, right? Let me go over here. OLED. OLED is still falling. Got a dark cloud cover. You want to see it fail the 9. So on these bullish plays, now this one right here, COMM, might be trying to make a play up. Got to see. You want to see it get above it. Touch that 29 marker. If this can get above 29 and hold and closes near its highs, it might be one to take a look at. You can see the bid-ask spread around 20 cents, 25 cents, kind of borderline. It was oversold, right? So oversold, buyers might be coming back in. You want to see price ideally get above these moving average lines, finish at the high of the day. Those are the things you'd want to be considering, right? Let's take a look at team. Team again, still trading sideways. AOI. Still below the moving average lines. I want to see it get above. PLI.V. Let me see. I think I need a different ticker. Let's see here. PSTG. Still tough. These two peaks up here. So it still has that inverse head and shoulders. You have the intraday right here. You want to see it get above that 2260s range and hold. So guys, all of that, right? So this is what I kind of want to show you guys. All of that work, right, for the past hour. And I'm not even seeing anything that looks great to me right now. But I wanted to show you all of this, the psychology. This is why sometimes we have more stocks on the list than others. Sometimes we don't have any that we put on. Swing trading, again, much harder to just, it's not as just, hey, let me make, you know, let's put this on the watch list because it's holding the high of the day or the low of the day. It's going to either pump up or pump down. You're looking to make 10, 15, 20 cents, right? This, you got to have a lot more psychology, thought process, thinking more, like making sure the patterns are right, the setup is right. Is it going to continue? What's going to happen? All of that good stuff, right? You got to look at all that, and then you got to determine: am I going to trade actual shares? Am I going to buy options on it? Am I going to go a call or a put? Am I going to do a spread? Am I going to do an iron condor? Am I going to do all that good stuff, right? So as of right now, I don't like anything really on here. Nothing's really popping out at me. At the end of the bell, something might look better. Again, I'll give it another look here. Still don't love it. I mean, I want price to get above here. Don't necessarily love this. I don't love this, but again, just trying to show you what I'd be looking at. Right here, price maybe trying to broach above the moving average lines to continue further. Gotta see. Yeah. Not liking a lot of these guys, or any of them really. They're okay, but eh. What I'll probably do for you guys as well is I'll give another few more minutes or so, and then I'll probably just go in. I'll probably stop this broadcast, and then I'll rebroadcast, and I'll do the daily one for you guys. Just do that one for you guys live as well if you want to watch how I do the daily. But again, this is the work that goes into the watch list. I just did this one for you guys for the swing trade. Never mind the daily, right? So again, if you're not members yet, guys, we're only $10 a month. We put all of this work into all this for you guys. And again, we're having these replays for you. So you can go back and watch these replays. Watch how we're doing this, right? You know, trading, it's difficult, right? It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of looking at so many of these different charts and patterns and setups. And it takes looking at hundreds and thousands of charts to get comfortable. And all this work, I just put in an hour of work weeded it down to about 5 stocks, and I don't really like much of any of them. And that's trading. Tomorrow might be better, tomorrow might be worse. But ideally, you want to market the market to choose a direction. The market's been very wacky lately, the past couple months, so it's harder to trade. That's why with swing trading, you might get a day or two out of it, and then you got to get out. Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah. Trying to see, guys, if anything else. Really great morning this morning in the day trade room. If you guys didn't see the replay yet, we put it over here under our YouTube channel, our live stream this morning. We're doing a lot more live streaming. So those of you guys who are following us, you know, I know probably everybody's wondering if you're a member. We love this live stream. It's not included under their, you know, being a member. What does that mean? If you go over to our website again, over here. Oh, by the way, we just launched our advanced candlestick course today. So our second course is now up and live. So if you look over here under courses, we have 2 candlestick courses. The advanced one is up. Get ready to rock and roll, guys. This is all about candlestick reversal patterns all down here. So it's zooming into all the main patterns, and now it's going to teach you reversals. So free, right? Thousands of dollars of courses for free. Our first candlestick course here, our second one over here. You will then see our ebook coming at some point and some wallpaper backgrounds. So we're going to have all that good stuff coming. But my whole point being, so going back to what I was saying, if you look under subscribe, screen sharing is not included in our services, right? So you don't see screen sharing here anywhere. Screen sharing with other trading companies, you're looking at $150, $200 a month, right? That's standard in the industry for most screen sharing. Sometimes you see them less. There's other programs that are a little bit less than that, but they also don't do options and nightly watch lists and have all the stuff that we're offering. So at minimum, you'll find screen sharing strictly for day trading, really, maybe $50 a month or so. But when you start adding in options and trade alerts and all of that good stuff, you're looking at $150, $200 a month. And then some of the services are out there up to $300 a month. So you're looking at big bucks for this type of service. Again, we haven't decided what we're going to be doing moving forward. But if you've been following us, we always try to reward those who are loyal to us. So I'll put it this way. Anybody that's $10 a month, if we move forward and screen share, we will reward those people that have been loyal from the beginning. So our plan is at some point we might not be doing screen share for $10 a month, but those people that are paying $10 ahead of time, we'll probably lock them in on that. That's the intention, right? And at some point, if we do charge more than $10 a month, the people that, again, that are paying $10 a month, they'll be taken care of. So read between the lines. If you're not a member yet, pay $10 a month. And if we ever up our prices down the road, it's not our intention to do so now. If everything goes well and, you know, keeps going great and lots more people sign up like they've been doing, then we might keep it $10 a month. We haven't decided, right? But my point being is pay $10 a month if you aren't already. Sign up and then you'll get it. Very simple. And right now we're keeping all the replays, all that stuff. We're doing the YouTube lives, putting it out there for everybody. You'll be able to see all the replays. At some point, we're probably going to make those replays private for private members only. Again, we have a whole members only video section over here. If you click on it, you'll see over here, we now have our candlestick patterns video here, how to trade candlestick patterns. Those are the patterns from our first course. And then we have how to trade candlestick reversal patterns. Those are the candlestick patterns from this course. So these 2 videos are teaching you how to trade all the patterns in our course, right? Right here, how to draw trend lines. So if you're wondering how the heck is he drawing all those lines, go check out over here. You know what? I busted Dan's chops for... I'm very OCD about the look of writing. And look. I did these. This is my fault, not Dan's fault. For anybody that doesn't know, Dan's dyslexic. So he misses stuff like this, and I bust his chops on it, and now I just realized I did this, and there's a clear difference between this writing and this writing. So I got to fix that. All right? So look at all this extra content. This is how we set up our scanners, all this good stuff. This is all private members content on top of everything else that we do. So that's what we got, guys. I'm going to see if I have energy. Thank you very much, Frank. I'm going to see if I have energy to do the second video. I'm super burnt, but I might have enough to do the second one. We'll take a look and see. Give me a few minutes, guys. And if I come back on, great. If not, my brain's too burnt, and I'll just have to send it out the watch list by itself. But again, we had a whole 2 hours from earlier today. This one's an hour. And you'll see a couple hours from a few days ago. This one over here. Lots of stuff. We're all about trying to help you guys out. So happy trading, peeps. Maybe we'll see in a bit. Maybe we won't. But stay tuned, and I'll send out the watch list in a little bit. Enjoy.